Good evening. Hello, everybody. Hi. Hi. Hope you guys are doing well tonight. What the heck is wrong with this thing? Looks like everything actually working good tonight. So, hello. Happy Friday, everybody. So yeah, Nick is not on tonight. Joe, obviously, he is celebrating Shabbos. That I'd step in and fill the void because you know what, nothing but a vacuum to fill. So let's get that done. Woofer, you're actually asking an interesting question. What is the background of that? Is that a painting or a county seat mural? It is a mural from somewhere in New York. I don't know. When I first started doing this, I thought, I need something that's kind of like judicial related. So I kind of I saw this and it's from somewhere in New York City. It's in an appellate court somewhere. And then if you could tell when, hold on here, I'll remove myself for a second. Obviously, I thought, you know what? Hey, I might as well try to make it look cool and funny for a minute. So, they're the ladies of justice there are holding automatic weapons and a pile of cash with the Ray-Bans on. So, yeah, just thought it'd be funny. So that is all. That's all that's about. Any salty ball saying if it's late and gay? No, sorry. Womp 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 womp. Sorry about that. Who got first tonight? Salty Ball saying I pooped. Well, hey, first is first. That's always what's important. Yes, Jim, you are correct. I am his Shabbos goy. Stacy says Coors Light run on a White Claw. Yeah, I need to finish this off first, so I got to get these done. There's a couple more left. Joe says goy is pronounced guy. I don't know. I'm not a member of the tribe, so I'll take Joe's word for it. If he says it's pronounced guy, then it's guy. So, don't know if that's true. Hey, it's what he says, so I'll go with it. Yes, who White Claw. Yes, the who whitest of the claws. So, all right, well, we're going to give guys. Yes, the Boondock Saints call back a huge freaking goy. So we're going to give people a couple minutes to get in here. I know a lot of people are out and about. So, yeah, like I said, a little bored. Not a lot going on right now, so we can talk about it. So we're going to talk about a couple things tonight. Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF, is going down the Jeffrey Epstein path. He is currently detained in Manhattan, so let's do an over-under on how long he's going to last. Then, the Sackler'd from Purdue Pharmaceuticals, well, Supreme Court kind of called everybody's shit out on that one. JC saying a little bored lawn numbers earlier. I know he was, but I actually was watching the Mario movie. It's actually really, really good. Very hilarious. Was watching it and, just got done with that. Yes, Charlie, he'll be hanging around for a while. Sure. Yes, this is an unsanctioned live stream. Unsanctioned title fight. Salty saying he's getting choked out as we speak. Yeah, but he might be enjoying that choke out, so. All right, guys, it's been a couple. We'll give it a couple more minutes. So I know people are out there doing things. I hope you guys had a good Friday. I know, I kind of did. Overall, during the day, it was kind of boring, but at the end of the day, though, it was perfect. Really, really good. Carlos, hey, how you doing? Seraph is saying, I won't be forgiven the Mario movie for what they did to my boy Luigi. Look what they did to my boy. They did a really good job. I think they did him right. And of all the people in there, like you can't tell it's Chris Pratt at the time, but you can tell it's Charlie Day the whole time through. So, Aaron Hack is saying, "What's this? Who died? Nobody's died yet, but we're not there yet. But that may soon change. Subject to change. There might be some deaths." So, all right. Well, oh, okay. Why is this all? Oh, okay. Well, that's why Twitter's getting all fucking retarded. So never mind. I was wondering why I was getting all those notifications. Get Joe and Kurt in here. I can't get Joe in here. Joe's not allowed to be here. So, Mario movie was okay. Seth Rogen sucked. Yeah, he worked good for what it was. Eric saying, who voiced Luigi? Charlie Day. He's from Always Sunny. He was also, I guess, and it's funny because the future Mrs. Martin recognized him from Horrible Bosses, but he's in that as well. For $9.99, thank you. For 99 cents, thank you with the super sticker. I'm not sure what the sticker is, so I'll just I'll take your word for it there until I can bring it up. Let me see here. Well, because chat's being retired. Oh, it's a cake. Oh, happy birthday! Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Yes, and all you right here. It's like it's cake, fatty. It's like thank you. Thanks for telling me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes, Jack Black did a great job for Bowser. So, all right, guys. I guess it's time. We might as well get going. What is this shit? Friday night stream? Yeah. So, all right, guys, we're gonna get started. Yeah, Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF. Well, he's not dead yet. So, this is his worst day, the worst day ever. It's his worst day so far. And if you guys weren't aware, apparently SBF has thought that jail was going to be much like Shawshank. That's how detached this little Zoomer was about fucking around. So, our boy, in his infinite wisdom, got in a little bit of trouble. And what he did was, well, kind of one of the dumber things you can do when you're facing federal trial. Start screwing with his witnesses. So, if you guys weren't aware, he got tossed into jail today, and for leaking things from his ex-girlfriend, Carolyn Ellison. So he got in trouble because he leaked a bunch of personal writings from his former lover and business associate to a New York Times reporter. And obviously, Fried thinks he can do whatever he wants, and he's not wrong. He could pretty much get away with whatever he wants because that's what's happened so far. He's been able to do whatever the fuck he wants, and nobody's stopped him. I mean, let's be real about it. If I was in his shoes too, I think I'm pretty much invincible as well because he pretty much is invincible at this point. But what he did was being accused of tampering with witnesses. Now, sure, you might think, well, he wasn't telling her not to testify or not to be involved. But what is he doing? Well, he's embarrassing her and screwing with her. And that's going to make her not want to get involved. So, and that's important because Caroline Ellison's already pled guilty to a count of fraud and is widely believed and most likely, given what she's pled to, is supposed to cooperate and testify against SBF. So that's the issue there. That's why he's being charged with witness intimidation or being suspected of it. Now, certainly he's probably going to get charged with it. He might, he'll probably get indicted for it. They'll probably run it all together. I'm not sure because they can use this against him at trial that he tampered with a witness. It could be used as circumstantial evidence of his guilt that he went so far as to embarrass and hound this woman by leaking secrets. And what secrets did he leak in these personal writings? Well, you guys didn't realize Caroline Ellison? Yeah, she's not a good-looking woman, but we'll get to that. So he had been held under house arrest at his parents' mansion over in the San Francisco area on a $250 million bond, which, that's just like the rest of us. We'd have that chance. So he was shipped off to the Manhattan Detention Complex in Lower Manhattan, where he's waiting till his trial starts in October. He's not going to get let out. I think the judges had it, and they're not going to address it again. So this is funny. This is the court drawing of him getting arrested and taken into custody. I love how they had to draw the little... They drew like the little Marshall star on the guy because it's like... This is such a racist court drawer. Like, how racist does this guy have to be to think, oh my God, these people aren't going to know who this black guy is behind him. Maybe he's going to it's the guy blacking him in his jail cell. I better draw a star on him so people know he's a cop. Just, yes, you're right, Jay, that he looks very buff in this. Yes, he looks like fucking Superman, like Michael Phelps with a good V cut going. Maybe this guy has a, this is like at the beginning of his gay erotica novel cover that he's moonlighting for. But yes, the Marshal's arms are so fucking long. Like, the Marshal's just going in there. He getting that butt. Booty warrioring it up. Just, he's going to get in there. Be like, I'll show you how to right to remain silent, boy. Yes, he looks like he's wearing a Star Trek badge. Yes, but he's just getting that butt. Swizgar saying at least he didn't put a 7-point star on SBF. Yes, and OC's right. This is buck breaking. Although, is it really buck breaking? Because you wouldn't think of SBF as a buck. He's not that strong. He's not that impressive. He's not that type of guy you'd think who could really be broken. He's already a broken man. How can you buck break a cuck? Just a thought. So he's being escorted out. I love this is him coming into court today. Is he scared or is he so stupid he doesn't know what's going to happen? And it's hard to tell by looking at him. His face is all puffy. Is he on like steroids and, ADD meds? Because I can't believe he doesn't realize he's in trouble. Because certainly his attorney said, generally speaking, his attorneys, if they were good, they'd be telling him, you need to be prepared. You're not walking out of the courthouse today under your own power. I hope they told him that because he certainly does not. It's hard to tell what he looks like right now. So, there's his dad, which, it's still a weird thing how he got involved in all this, given how important his parents were. And there's his mom, like, oof. Yes. So, and they claim that the feds were claiming that he crossed the line. He's a disgraced wonder boy. Was he ever really a wonder boy? But, look, there he goes. It's Drex and Nick getting let out. Really, it's Nick and Drex. They're gonna go break him. Oh my god! I didn't see this earlier. I kind of breezed through this article just to make sure there was enough info in it. Oh my god, it does. You know, and here's like Ralph over in the corner. He's like, we're going to go break him. And Ralph's like, that's true. Sam's like, you won't break me. And Ralph's like, well, that's not true. Oh, you guys think it's Dick Masterson holding the door? This one's even worse. So look at this star. Who that's like a little fucking kid drew it. And then it's like crayons and watercolor. Like, what is this? This is like smeared poop for paint. I mean, yes, SBF got felted. Well, I'm sure in jail he's getting felted a lot. No. If only the coverings of his bunk was made out of felt, because I'm sure he's spending a lot of time with that right now. But yeah, this whole thing, it's like an oil painting mixed in on top of everything. This is just like, God, they lost their focus. So, but yeah, here they go. They show him he doesn't have like much of a butt there. So I'm sure they'll make quick work out of it. Yeah, but there he goes. Is this the same shirt tie he wore earlier? Yeah. There he goes. He's like, well, I already started working on getting my butt ready, so I guess here we go. So, they're claiming that he was trying to reach out to get protection from the media and trying to reach out to defend his reputation, which, I mean, laundering money for the Democrats and the Ukrainian government, I'm not sure what more there is to your reputation at that point, but hey. Yes. Anyways, if you guys weren't aware, this is Carolyn Ellison here. This is his former girlfriend and one of the people helping him run Alameda Research and also FTX. Yes, the cute little meth addict. So, how he ever got a hold of things is really weird. But she talked about in her writings about their relationship being on and off again. She thought it was making things weird and causing drama. It's like, no, stealing the hundreds of billions of dollars. That's not the drama. That's not weird. It's dealing with your methed out boyfriend as you guys abuse Adderall all the time. That's the weird thing. So, yes, and this is her post-transition. She's like, yes, I just love doing Adderall. So, but yeah, this was the problem. This was the problem, that this guy was being a creeper, not anything else. So, I got it right here. So this is what happened to him. This is the funny part. This is the actual document today from the judge. Oh, hold on here. I gotta. Where what are you guys? I'm trying to catch what you guys said. Oh, Jay Leeds, yes, pretty close resemblance. Yes, very much so. I mean, it's hard not to agree. Yes, is she on puberty blockers? I don't know. Yes. The scene says her mom liked wine a lot. Yes, her mom drank clearly all the way through that critical period when you're not supposed to. So she has no chin. She's just like Leafy. Kat is saying, does that mean the $250 million bail is gone? Not necessarily, because it's not saying the bond is forfeit. It's just revoked. So when you revoke bond, that doesn't mean it's forfeit. Typically, just violating the terms of bond like this necessarily won't get your bond revoked. I mean, it'll get revoked, but it won't get forfeited. Generally, forfeiture only happens when you skip out. So I presume everybody involved will get their money back at some point. I mean, obviously, they might not. But for now, there's no indication that anything's been taken away. So what we see here, though, is this is an order. So this isn't even this is the judge making his own order here. So the DOJ has to have his bond revoked. So the judge says, the order to release him as was modified after a hearing is hereby revoked, and he cites how he's allowed to do that, and he's remanded because the court has found for reasons stated on open record that there's probable cause to believe that he engaged in the federal crime of attempted witness tampering in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1512 while on release, and based on the factors set forth in the statute, he can say there is no condition or combination of conditions that will assure he will not. Now, this part here, he's not posing a danger to other persons or for the safety of the community. I think his attorneys will have the ability to appeal this, and they are. Well, this is not a danger. He didn't threaten her with violence. He didn't do anything to scare her or chase her away. He just said, bitch, I'm going to air your laundry out. So does that make him dangerous to the community? No. Does that make him a threat to others posing a danger? No. But I do think the appeals courts are going to say, yes, he fucked around and, interacted with the witness, and that's just a straight violation of bond. And, the appeals courts are going to find a reason to keep him in custody, unless he happened to have been able to finance their attempt. What are you saying? Did he use a bondsman or lay down the cash? His family put down some cash, and then they had somebody else come in who they had worked with before. And I forget exactly how it all got posted, but he did get it posted. And it's like private money was placed up there. So the things that you and I will never, ever, ever get to do. If we're ever in court, and the judge says, hey, your bond's $250 million. You know what my answer is going to be? Well, I guess I'm sitting in jail. And that's pretty much all of us listening here, too. But he had friends and people in power, and I'm sure he had ways to get that money. So Mr. Squiggles said, yes, if that he definitely could be. And I think the amount of money they were handling and who they were handling it for, like Ukraine, yes, indicates that he was doing work on behalf of the feds, and they are going to look out for him. So we will see. Pedosa secretly put up the money. Yeah, a lot of people put some money together for him, but yes, like I said, other people put the money together for him. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens to him. So right now he's at the Manhattan Detention Center. And yes, so he's been there. It is so ordered August 11th, and it's signed by Lewis Kaplan, district judge. So that's Happy Trails SBF. Now, I mean, this is where we need to talk. This is the real talk now. Red table talk time. Yeah, Podesta put up money. Yes, they did. But a lot of people put some money together for him. But they also didn't have to put up all 250 because they didn't have to post it all. How long is SBF going to survive? Because October 2nd, I mean, how many days? Date and time. Date and time calculator. Let's see here. Today, count days to October 2nd, beginning of his trial, including the end date. That's 52 days. So, 52 days there. I mean, yes, I'm thinking we could do a Deadpool, an SBF Deadpool. So yes, he's got 52 days. 4,492,800 seconds to avoid being buck broken or murdered in a jail cell. So that's a long way to go. So you don't die, you aren't found hanged. They don't find you hanged. They don't find you stabbed to death, or in his case, maybe fucked to death. Yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to work for him. Jay Lead saying, assuming he gets jail time at all. Well, that's a separate issue after his trial. But I'm talking about pre-trial. He's probably not getting out absent the appeals court getting involved. So he's going to have to sit there. So Peyton saying they will not let him talk. Very true. Although I think for him, he's probably already been told, if you shut up, we'll take care of you. If he really is involved with the Fed stuff. So Jeffrey McHenry saying, maybe if we get lucky, we can slow clap sanctimony's compromise for 4 years like it's the most astute posture to leading that could even be conceived, let alone even possibly achieved. Don't disagree with you there. Don't disagree. Not at all. And Eric is saying SBF equals still breathing. Still blah, 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 blah. You articulate your words, you stupid retard. Still breathing for some reason. Jacob Castro says this. I need guarantees. We guarantee if you talk, they will rape you to death. I'm sure that's one of them. It's Trenton says if he's smart, he already has an insurance policy and tells him either I get out or the truth does. I don't think he's that smart because he was doing work on behalf of people. I don't think he's prepared for this. So no, I don't expect anything like that out there. People like him generally don't plan that well. So I don't think there is an insurance policy because you would have had to have it set up way in advance. And I don't think there's anything there. So yes, Sam Bateman-Fried, we hardly knew ye. You know, I already mourn his death. We'll move on to that. I think I'll work on putting together something for I'll work on putting together something there that will address this. So, and moving on to the other things we can talk about tonight, the Sackler'd family that ran and dealt with Purdue Pharmaceuticals, who brought us to the beautiful world of Oxy, which turned into a scourge in this country that killed how many people at this point through abuse of that drug, which led to then heroin use, and then which led to fentanyl abuse, which burned through this country like an unchecked wildfire through every strata of our society. You know, not just for poor people, but everywhere. And it ruined how many lives and how many families. So anyway, if you guys weren't aware, they were getting sued into fucking oblivion. And they filed bankruptcy. And part of the bankruptcy options for them were that they worked it out with the bankruptcy court that they would pay $6 billion. Yes, $6 billion. And with that payment, through the bankruptcy court, they were then immune from any sort of civil action that was going to be brought against them. And that money they put into the pot would be used for settling issues that happened out there. And $6 billion is a drop in the bucket to fix what they did. bribing doctors, doing all the things that happened out there. There's only so much that can really happen at this point. So it's just there's only so much that can really happen right this second. So what we know, and this is actually a good article, kind of breaks it down, but yes, OxyContin, hillbilly heroin. I'm sure if you guys don't know anybody who got hooked on this shit, you're very lucky. Because when I got out of law school, 2014, this was already the world was on fire with this. I mean, I had clients. I had a client, one guy, I had a client who, and it was a really bad story, just like all of them, got hurt, and they put him on those, and then he got addicted. I mean, the guy had a degree in mechanical engineering, mechanical or electrical, either way, from the University of Michigan. Had gotten his master's in either mechanical or electrical engineering from the University of Michigan, which, okay, make fun of it all you want. That is a very phenomenal engineering school. Guy was making $200,000 a year. Got hurt and ended up becoming a heroin addict, and was committing burglaries to satisfy his addiction. I mean, it completely destroyed all kinds of people. What he's saying was that was the stuff Rush Limbaugh got hooked on. Yeah. I mean, he got everybody. Everybody did. So, Jacob said it wasn't a problem until the doc stopped prescribing it. Well, that's because they realized, oh my God, this shit is getting people highly addicted, because it basically is heroin. It's heroin in pill form. So that was the issue. Aaron's saying, what would be the basis for a civil action? It's not your fault it's not your own fault if you OD. The Sackler's and Purdue lied. They told doctors this wasn't addictive, that the formula was safe, it wouldn't cause problems. That's the reason why they had to modify the formula for Oxy, because it was basically heroin. They were giving people heroin. It was a highly addictive opiate that so many people got, sick from, and they caused so many issues. I remember there were people I knew, throughout, back even into college, when I was in college, and you start hearing about people dropping like flies from this stuff. If they're if you get hurt, don't take the pills. Ask for 800 Motrins or something, because you don't want to take the pills, because it's, who knows if you're going to get addicted to them. So, they lied. They lied about how addictive it was. They lied about a lot of things about it. So that's why they're in trouble. Jim is saying all the overdoses massively increased after the feds started forcing the doctors to stop prescribing legitimate pills. Yes, that's true. And government got involved, but I mean, what were they going to do? Because at that point, yes, you had doctors that were pill mills, and people were doctor shopping, and you had pain management clinics. But at some point, something's got to be done. These people were just going to pop pills till they died. So I don't necessarily think that, yes, the government is never good at solving these issues, but that's the government's only really option. They didn't really have another option there. I don't think it was the best choice, but, I mean, it wasn't like it was going to get any better if they just let people keep choking down pills. So, Aaron's saying, so it's not the devastation, it's the lying. I mean, ultimately, it's their lying caused all this devastation. Had they not done this, and had they been upfront about it, this may not have been that big a deal. And we wouldn't have been dealing with, now we're 20 years into the opioid epidemic. And I've had 2 clients die this year. And I was going for a couple of years. Like, people weren't dying on me. And then even when I was in the prosecutor's office for a couple of years, the people were not dying. Yeah, people were overdosing a lot. And, and they're taking a couple of hits of Narcan to come back. But things like the past, since I got back into private practice in 2020, up until about the end of March this year, it was pretty quiet. I had clients that were overdosing, but then I had a guy die at the end of March. And then I had a guy die about a month ago. Another guy died about a month ago. So, yeah, it's like we're coming back into it. So, Trot, you're right. The government isn't good at solving and the government isn't good at governing. I don't disagree with you. Don't disagree with you at all. And Eric, yes, that was the other issue. They were profiting from it. So I don't disagree with any of that. But it caused so many problems. So anyway, getting back to the bankruptcy case, the bankruptcy court said, hey, you know what? This is a good idea. We're going to let you do this. Now, the problem is this bankruptcy court was issuing this ruling saying the Sackler's are immune from further lawsuit, but people weren't party to the case. And that's generally something you're not allowed to do. You generally can't bar a non-party to a case from taking other action because that's generally not how it works. If you have a cause of action against somebody and they're in a different lawsuit and they settle for something, the court generally can't go in and say, hey, like, for example, if I wanted to sue Kurt for something and Kurt's in a lawsuit with Nick over something or Drex and they're settling their problems, the three of them can't agree to say, okay, well, yeah, Sean can't sue Kurt anymore either. It doesn't work generally that way because I'm not involved in the lawsuit. So that was what was going to happen here, was that anybody who had an action outside of the bankruptcy was going to get told to pound sand, and that would stop everything. Well, people appealed it, and the Second Circuit said, well, actually, this is actually okay. And we're now to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has jumped in and gave us a different issue here. The Supreme Court has gotten involved, and this is the case. So if you guys notice, this is William Harrington, United States trustee. And the trustee is, because this is in bankruptcy court, the trustee in bankruptcy cases, a bankruptcy trustee is probably one of the most powerful people in America. The amount of power they have given to them by a court to handle matters in a bankruptcy proceeding is absolutely amazing. They can do, the amount of power they wield and they're given by a court to address matters. Like, think about if you have like a multi-billion-dollar company, they can do so many things, and the court will give them power. Take care of this. Get this sorted out. And that person is a one-man wrecking crew at times. So where are... A common lawyer says, what was it like starting a private practice as the world shut down in 2020? Well, I got out of the office I was in. It was weird. It was weird catching back up because, I'd been working for years before on my own. And it wasn't until really 2022 things started picking back up to a normal pace. There was a lot of downtime. And that's part of the reason why I was looking at doing this, was because I was like, well, I should do something with my time. And there's only so many cases you can read, so many CLEs you can take. I got read up on a lot of things and did a lot of learning about stuff. But yeah, that's part of the reason why I started doing this. Now, things are good and things are busy now, but it was different. It was a different time. Stabby saying my brother and his wife died from an OD about a month ago. Ooh. You know, my sympathies, man. That's not good stuff. You know, not good stuff. Jim is saying, I've been going to a pain clinic for 12 years. I've had 3 back surgeries and a stimulator implant. Been on the same dosage of meds for 8 years. They have crazy rules now. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And hopefully it's working out for you. It's working out for you. So anyway, getting back to this thing here. Getting back to this. So this right here, if you guys look at it, it's William Harrington, and he is the United States bankruptcy trustee. So like I said, he's got a ton of power. They have a lot of power here. So what happened is Purdue Pharmaceuticals, LP, that includes the Sackler's, and this was from the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. And there was a motion submitted for a stay, was submitted to Sotomayor. And they went ahead and a bunch of different people were involved that filed responses. And, there's the official committee, like you have unsecured creditors that are involved. You had a group of individual victims are sending stuff in. The state of California filed a motion. Respondent debtor, Purdue Pharma, as the debtors did. The multi-state governmental entities group. There's a lot of people involved in this Purdue Pharma thing here. But there's also a lot of people that weren't involved. There's the committee of governmental and other contingent litigation claimants. Like I said, there are multiple parties. There's multiple layers to this of people trying to get involved. And this is the issue here. This is the court actually is going to take a look at this. So the application for a stay was presented to her, and the court grants it. The mandate from the Court of Appeals in the Second Circuit is recalled and stayed, meaning whatever they said, we're recalling it. Everything's put on hold. So the applicant suggested this court treat the application as a petition for a writ of certiorari, meaning, and once again, if you guys, a writ of certiorari is the ticket to getting heard in front of the Supreme Court. That's the golden ticket. If you can get cert, which that's what it's called, CERT in short, that's your foot in the door. If you get cert, your case is getting argued, and they're going to hear it, and they're going to hear it on the merits. So, getting cert, that's the big deal. So, what happened though? Their petition is granted, and the parties they're directed to brief and argue the following question. And this is the Supreme Court saying, this is basically a writing exam. Here's your prompt. Respond to it. Whether the bankruptcy code authorizes a court to approve, as part of a plan of reorganization under Chapter 11 of the Bankruptcy Code, a release that extinguishes claims held by non-debtors against non-debtor third parties without the claimant's consent. Okay? So what does all that mean? Well, the Bankruptcy Code is what allows you to file for bankruptcy, and there's Chapter 11 of the Bankruptcy Code. You've probably heard of like Chapter 7 bankruptcy and other chapters. So under the Bankruptcy Code, a release that extinguishes claims, meaning it kills them, it kills off the claim, held by non-debtors against non-debtor third parties without the claimant's consent. So the claimants are the non-debtors against the non-debtor third parties. So, for example, going back to the idea of a lawsuit, if I'm suing Kurt, I'm a claimant. If there's me and, 100 other people, those 100 other people are claimants. So, but it's without our consent. Because remember, like I said, you need to pretend like Kurt is in a lawsuit with Nick and Drex, and they agree to, and bankruptcy is not exactly like a lawsuit, but just think of it this way. They're working something out amongst themselves, and they're going to screw me over, and I'm not agree, and I didn't get the chance to agree to it. I'm not involved. I can't get involved in their case. So they're working something out that hampers me, and obviously I'm going to go to the Supreme Court and say, "Hey guys, this is bullshit." And the Supreme Court's like, "Hey, this is a very interesting question because this is not it's a very this hasn't really happened before. So this is kind of a novel issue." And their Supreme Court's like, "Yeah, this is kind of important. So you know what? You guys are going to establish a briefing schedule, and you guys are going to argue this in the December 2023 session. So this is a short turnaround time." That's the interesting part. This is a very quick turnaround time. Normally, when you get cert, you're set for a later time. No, they're like, "Look, you guys we're going to do this in 4 months. You got 90 days to get your brief in." And obviously sooner than that, because the Supreme Court's got a chance to read it, and then they're going to have oral arguments. So we're on a very condensed time schedule here. I mean, this is pretty intense. And then the stay by, the wisest of all the Latinos, Justice Sotomayor, will terminate upon the sending down of the judgment of this court. So when they release their ruling, which will probably be in the spring, that's when the stay ends. But as of right now, everything's on pause. And the Second Circuit's ruling saying that, hey, these third-party people are screwed, well, that's on hold. So nothing can happen until the Supreme Court says the case can proceed. So once they hit play and they say what can happen, that's how it'll play out. But until then, it's done. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens from there. Just Joyce says, "I got off Oxy, no problem. Dilaudid is a different story." So I've heard. I've not had to take Dilaudid. I'm very fortunate in that regard. When I hurt my knee, they gave me a whole bottle of, oh God, what did they give me? I can't remember off the top of my head now. I think they were Perks. But I was, I tore my patella tendon. That, I will tell you this much. Whew. And I didn't tear it off the bone. I actually tore it right in the middle of the tendon. That's some of the worst pain I've ever had in my life. The surgery hurt a lot, but after like 2 days, I was just taking ibuprofen. So, I didn't have to worry about Dilaudid, but I know some people need that crap. So Corn Pope saying, "Have a good one." Well, you have a good one too. Aga saying, "Where's the FDA in this?" Ha! The government's going to allow you to sue it. When is the FDA getting sued? That's so cute. You guys think that's going to happen? I am so impressed. You guys are so cute with that. So yeah, you guys, look, you guys have been through a lot of stuff out there. Yeah, that stuff is awful. Awful things happening there. So that is where the Sackler's are. So yes, the Supreme Court got Sackler'd. Eric Fulham says, "I am a functioning junkie at this point." I'm sorry to hear that. That's my heart goes out to you. I hope medicine figures out how to unfuck that for you at some point. So, that is, that's not good stuff. Where is, I'm looking for something here. Oh, where are we? Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. I'm trying to fix. Damn, I lost the tab. Okay, I'm sorry. I found my tab. So if you guys were not aware, this is there's a case out in California. Ag biochemist says Sackler, more like sack chasers. Yeah. Yep. Like Y.W. Melly's, rapper friend. Yeah, I still think that is the gayest rap name ever. Your rap name can't be like, Mac 10, Tech 9, like Glock Switchy, I don't know, Hollow Tips, something good. No, one of these guys had to pick the name Sack Chaser. I get it. He's like chasing sacks of money, but who carries sacks of money anymore? He could be like stack chaser, like chasing stacks of cash. That would make sense, especially in 2023, because you ain't got like stacks on deck. As one of my clients told me, he referred to it. He got stacks on deck. Don't worry about it. Dude had stacks on deck, man. He needed a couple of bands. They showed up. But yes, say he's chasing sacks. I'm like, sounds like he's going the easy E route, chasing them sacks. So, you're right. Yes, he's a literally knickerfaggot. Yes, that would be the worst. That would be the worst. Where are you guys? Where are? Sorry, I'm trying to. Damn it! I hate this thing. StreamYard does this all the time. It'll scroll back through things when you're trying to catch up. Jake Christman says, "What is a gun?" Canadian asking. Thanks, Castro. Guns are big and scary. Just like when your prime minister, Justin Castro, hangs out with another man at a truck stop and something big and large and scary comes out. It's just like a gun. Except Justin Trudeau likes them going off in his face. Hopefully he tries that with a gun once. So, all right. Now this is this is just further proof, and I'm curious to see how this case goes along. If this goes anywhere, I think this will be an awesome trial to deal with. Because it's just further proof. This thing right here is a tattling machine. It is literally a get convicted machine. That's what this thing does. It gets you convicted of crimes. So a judge in California, he shot his wife and killed her. And he texted his court staff telling them, "Oh, by the way, I smoke checked my wife." So I do love this picture of like the detective coming out. And of course they have to have it who's like questionably, is he white or Hispanic? I don't know. But he's coming out with like a couple of like the most cholo guns ever. What? Pistol grip shotgun. And then I don't know, is that... I like to think that's some sort of rifle, but I can't tell. It looks like it might be like maybe some sort of Sega AMD 65 abortion. I can't really tell. Looks like an AK to me, especially at the top here. But, that's me being actionally with the guns. So we'll just move along. So there's a judge out in Orange County, and apparently he texted his court. He texted his bailiff and his clerk right after he did this. He's like, "I just lost it. I just shot my wife. I won't be in tomorrow. I will be in custody. I'm so sorry." Now, to be fair, it's nice that the judge went ahead and it's nice that their boss told them, like, "Hey guys, I'm not coming in tomorrow." So now you got to wonder if that all happened. Do you think his bailiff's like, "Well, fuck, I'm calling off tomorrow"? I mean, it's not like he can do anything. Take the day off. Some of you guys are saying, like, yes. Orale vato. Orale Holmes. So, yes, he did kill her, apparently. So he's out on $1 million bail, which, once again, I'm sure we'd all have the chance to meet that kind of a bail, but being a white guy in Orange County does have its, being a boomer white guy in Orange County, California, does have its benefits. They found 47 weapons at his house. Oh, no. Including the pistol used in the shooting and more than 26,000 rounds of ammunition at his Anaheim home. That's what I'm talking about, homie. That's gun ownership. 26,000 rounds. Although I really hope he wasn't like a boomer had stocked up on 22 way back during the panic, and he was sitting on like 20,000 rounds of 22, because that's kind of it's kind of gay at that point. A little bit weak, but hey, we don't know yet. Zero fuck saying he didn't have enough lives for all that ammo. Yes, that is very true. Yes, and Torgo the White over on Twitch. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you guys weren't aware, run this on Twitch, because I may as well enter the bread tuber and cringe political commenting spaces and be an asshole everywhere. Says 47, those are rookie numbers, bro. You need to pump those numbers up. So that is yes, so the weapons are legally owned. Yes, they had to include that, thankfully. But a rifle registered in his name is still missing. Well, why does that matter if he used the pistol? If they think he used a pistol to kill her? Who cares what this other gun is? I get it. It's California, though. So he killed his wife, Cheryl, and they were arguing last week. And they kept on arguing. They kept on arguing about things. And his wife apparently said something, "Why don't you point a real gun at me?" Which, okay, this, when it comes to it, what are you gonna do? Shoot me? I dare you to shoot me. You can't do that. Don't tell somebody that's gonna go get a gun those things. It's not your job to shit test them at that point. Because if they accept your challenge, you're gonna have a bad day. So I don't understand the issue of people doing this. Although maybe his wife was a true Karen and that's how she rolled. So, live by the sword, die by the sword, maybe. Or maybe she was drunk and started talking shit too. I don't know. Yes, Jay Butt's right. These are brilliant last words. Yes, Chance, you're right. What are you going to do? Shoot me? From the guy who was shot. Oh. And then mostly Colton, I think he meant mostly gluten, said for $5, thank you, I appreciate it. Is saying, well, with the threat of rolling blackouts, the freezer might not meet the demands of the judge. Oh, funny. I do like this part, though, that they claim he pulled a pistol from his ankle holster. So, I mean, that is boomer tier concealed carry. Using your ankle holster. I mean, not carrying like two guns on your waist, but he's carrying an ankle holster. And I bet it was like a nylon Uncle Mike's holster, too. And I want to know what type of gun he used to kill her, because I can't imagine it was a big one. But yes. So I dare you to shoot me. And he's like, oh, hold on 1 second. He reaches down and like yanks out. And I mean, this guy's old as dirt, too. So it's not like he was fast about it. It's like Austin Powers getting run over by the steamroller. It is probably the slowest impending death you could experience. So he shot her in the chest. So their son called 911 and said his dad had been drinking too much and shot his mom. I'm sure I hope it was a little more than that, because otherwise that guy doesn't like his mom too much. Yeah, he's a 72-year-old. I'm sure he was, doing this like John Wick, just did like a front shoulder roll and just boom, boom, and shot her. I'm sure it didn't go like that. So this guy's been a judge since 2015. And he started his career working in the same DA's office prosecuting him. And yeah, it'll be very interesting It will be very, very interesting what happens to this guy. And I'm hoping we get a chance to cover it. And I'm hoping it gets televised because I would love to cover this one. So, um, God damn it. Muted. Okay. So I'm hoping. Okay, yes. Yeah, thank you. So what I think is going to happen here is, yes, there's a conflict of interest. Sounds like a judge for the next county over is going to do it. And that makes sense. Because they can't just use another judge in that county to do it because they likely know each other and that's a conflict. And the appearance of impropriety is enough. And that's the thing. The appearance of impropriety establishes impropriety. So you should avoid the appearance of impropriety at all costs because if it looks sketchy, even if it's not, people don't trust it. I mean, that goes for all of us in our daily lives. If you think something's a little sketch, you generally don't want to be involved in a period, even if it turns out to not be. You still have your reservation. So having a judge from a nearby county do it makes sense. Although who knows? Given that it's the neighboring county and it's LA, LA, they might know each other still. I mean, this could actually be an issue. They might have to get a judge from like way out of town. Who knows? But yes, he's been released, and we'll see how that goes for him. But in the meantime, don't use your fucking tattle machine. Don't use your tattle machine. This thing right here will put you in jail. Mostly Colton for $2 says that's the backup to the backup spot for a gun on your ankle. Yes, it is. And I'm mostly Colton for $2. Thank you again. Saying muted. Yes. Yes, I got caught up there. So I can read lips while Sean was muted. He was just yelling the N-word. Shh. Come on now. Wasn't the only word. Sarah Brown saying, also don't shoot your wife. Well, I mean, we've all been there. We've all been there. If you're going to do it, like I said, if you're going to commit a crime, do it right. Sanitize your crime scene. Sanitize your electronic footprint. There's a lot of things you can do to limit your liability. You just got to pay attention. You got to be detail orientated. You got to be detail oriented if you want to kill someone. It is a very difficult task, but it can be done. I promise you, you can do it. If you want to kill someone, you just really, you really got to put your back into it. Dr. D's nuts saying we must secure the what, chill? What? I mean, I wasn't saying securing anything. I was just talking about a future for children. That's all I was talking about. Yes. Charlie says don't send drunk text admitting to said crimes is step one. Yes, it is, but that's that'll be interesting. We'll see what happens. What else do we have right now? Oh, hold on. Oh, we do have a an update in the case involving oh crap, damn it, I just lost it. President Trump, he had a former President Trump, I should say, because technically he's not president, even though just saying. I'm like, we could have filmed there some like not affirmative fraud somewhere about the 2020 election, but you know, just saying. I mean, you never know. I mean, because it's most fortified election in history, and it was most open and honest, and just saying, you never know. Like he might have actually done that, and, you know, something happened here. So, well, hope you guys caught all that. So there was an order from the state and the prosecution, the DOJ. They wanted a protective order for multiple things Trump had been doing, including talking about stuff that was going on, you know, his post to True Social, among other things that were happening. And they had the hearing today, and the judge did release a ruling. Goalie says, what's the over-under for a Trump Punisher skull on the gun? Oh, I bet it's very, very likely. Very, very, very likely. JC tells us you're going to get banned, kid. I didn't say anything was wrong. I'm just saying when you know at the election, I'm just saying actually it kind of was like still maybe like these were really done, but you can't really know about it. But I'm like nothing like that. You know, I didn't say anything. I wasn't saying like, you know, if you go to the top of the Rockefeller Hewitt building, that gives you the perfect arc to, you know, launch a mortar and it's the closest public building to the White House or anything like that. Just saying. You know, as the whitest kids, you know, talked about. Or, you know, if you really wanted to study how to do it, you know, the IRA basically put a mortar in the back of a panel van and just cut a hole in the roof and lobbed a propane tank at Margaret Thatcher's house. Just saying. You know, just between us girls, something to think about. I mean, Minecraft, I'm just telling you what something happened in a historical context, and you can study that for your own purposes. You know, maybe you might study the tactics so you can learn about it and just appreciate, like, maybe I'm wanting to study those so I can learn how to defeat people who might want to cut a hole on top of a panel van and set up an improvised mortar that chucks things like the size of a propane tank at the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom's house over on Downing Street from the backside. And I'm just wanting to make sure that never happens again. So I'm just, you know, knowing my enemy. There's nothing wrong with that. Gluten says for $2 enough with the Biden impression. Yes. Oh. Yes, Chance is right. No, we're talking about it for safety. Yeah, they're safety as well. And J-Bet saying, it's just physics, math hypotheticals. What's the problem? Yes. Dropped at a 45 launched at a 45-degree angle with a terminal speed of how many feet per second? How far will it go if there's minimal deflection from the wind? Meat Candy's like, oh, I arrived at the perfect time of Fed talking. Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit. So we're going to get to this, though, real quick, and we'll talk about it because it is a little bit interesting here, what happened. So if you guys haven't seen it, it came out today. You know, and, you know, I'll do my poor man's Robert Gouveia with it. I didn't get a chance to see what he said about this. So it's a protective order governing discovery and authorizing disclosure of grand jury testimony. The United States moved for a protective order. It's granted in part and denied in part. So judge is saying like, yeah, you kind of guys got some points, but I'm not giving you everything. There's no limit on already possessed or public documents. Okay. It does not apply to information or records that are publicly available independent of the government production, nor does it apply to information or records which the defendant or defense counsel came into possession by independent means, which that's good. That's what it should be. All the government is asking for this to be restricted as well, which is absolutely bullshit and shows you Jack Smith, I don't want him to talk about anything. Well, generally you're not that confident in your case if that's what you're doing. Sensitive materials, which the U.S. may designate in accordance with this, are subject to this order and may be used by the defendant and defense counsel solely in connection with defense of this case and for no other purpose, and in connection with no other proceeding. Well, and you guys know where that's going. They're going to use it, say, you guys can't do this with the Mar-a-Lago case. They're going to try to claim, like, those documents are separate, and even if this helps you down there, you're not allowed to do that unless I say so, and I'm going to determine if that can be used or not. Which, once again, this is some bullshit from the judge, but hey, she wants to step up to the emperor of mankind. That's her choice. So nobody can disclose the sensitive materials to any person other than people employed to assist in defense, persons who are interviewed as witnesses, or the court may authorize disclosure to. Okay. Witnesses and their counsel may be shown copies as necessary to prepare, but they can't retain them unless the court gives them permission. They talk about you can't do anything except provide copies to yourself and other people that are authorized to have them, and the copies are treated like the originals. Nobody's allowed to disclose any notes or records of any kind that they make in relation to the content of this. So if you make notes about a document you took, well, you can't tell anybody about your notes. All notes about these documents are be treated like the documents. But this paragraph shall not apply to generalized mental impressions of authorized persons not reflecting the content of the materials. Which, why don't they just admit we're not letting people talk about this in any way? Because that's what they're doing. That's all they're doing here. Upon conclusion of the case, all the sensitive materials will be returned to the U.S. unless otherwise ordered by the court. Yeah, well, they're claiming it's their special secret papers. This paragraph won't apply to any work product notes or other documents reflecting the content of sensitive materials. Although if we go back through and read some of the stuff there, the government wanted, well, no, they wanted everything you do with the sensitive materials or things in the SCIF stay in the SCIF, and then we get to destroy them later. So it's nice the court's saying that doesn't apply to work product, and they can hold on to it. Now, this part is nice. She's actually being somewhat, not a complete asshole here. Anything that becomes part of the public record, things that have been received in evidence in other trials, or become part of the record in this case, limit anybody in that type of situation. The only things that, things that are going to be sensitive, here's a list of things they can determine. Things with personal identifying information. So, like if they had social security numbers, but more importantly, the feds are going to claim any of our witnesses are sensitive because it's identifying information. The grand jury subpoena returns. So when they sent out subpoenas for the grand jury, when they said, hey, bring all your papers in, those are going to be sensitive. And the witness testimony. So the grand jury testimony and the exhibits that were presented to the grand jury. They're going to try to keep us from finding out what that was. Anything they obtained through their search warrants, they're going to try to hide. Sealed orders obtained by the government's filter team. Now, the filter teams are the people who the government put in charge to review all the things that were seized. Just like down in Mar-a-Lago, hey, we're going to have a separate team of people look through the documents and determine what we can keep, what we can't keep. Well, we learned about in the Mar-a-Lago case, they were actually all working together and there were no rules, and they completely broke the rules whenever they did try to enforce them. So what does that actually get us? Nothing. Let's recordings, transcript, interview reports, and related exhibits of witness interviews. So we aren't going to be able to hear what these witnesses say at any point. And materials obtained from other governmental entities. Well, what are other governmental entities? So, no sensitive materials may be disseminated to any other people other than the defense team. Yeah, once again, they're trying to silence things. Sensitive materials must be maintained in the custody and control of defense counsel. They may show or provide these to the defendant as necessary to assist in preparation, and they're not required to be present while he looks at them. However, if he does get to look at them, they may not allow Trump to write down any personal identifying information that they can find on there that's contained on the document. If he takes notes regarding the materials, they must inspect his notes to ensure he's not copied down anything personally identifying on the rule, which I understand that's something the feds may order. I still think that's unconstitutional, that I have to police my client. I think that's wrong. It's not my job to make sure my client follows the law. If my client breaks the law, that's his problem. It's not my problem. Anytime the defendant reviews them outside of his attorney's presence, he may not have access to any device capable of recording, photocopying, recording, or otherwise replicating the sensitive materials, including a smartphone. So how the hell are they going to do that if they're not around, making sure he doesn't have one? Anything electronic, basically. And they must assure that the materials are collected and safeguarded when he's not using them. Okay, that kind of makes sense. You can't just leave shit laying around. But how are they going to make sure he doesn't touch anything that's electronic while he's looking at these? Like, that's not going to work. That's not going to happen at all. But, whatever. So no party is going to disclose the sensitive materials in open court without prior authorization by the court, unless it involves his personal identifying information, which he's allowed to disclose because he's allowed to disclose his own personal identifying information. Otherwise, things have to be placed under seal. Nothing in this order can prevent anybody from objecting to discovery. There's no waiver. If they forget to do it, if they mess up and forget to stamp it, well, that doesn't mean they can't come back and say, oop, we messed up. You guys need to not show that to anyone. This doesn't affect the admissibility of documents or the discovery issues. You can still challenge those at any time. And they can challenge each document as they come across them and saying, no, it's not sensitive. And that'll be up to the judge to decide. So, yeah, I think this judge is trying to pretend to be not biased by giving some things to President Trump, but not everything. And I think that's, we're trying to avoid looking biased, but I think that's still a load of shit. So hopefully this gets fixed in some form or another. D. Smuts says by wiretapping, of course, and cameras. Yes, that's the only way they're going to be able to do it. Yes, Rabbit Stick is great to mention, like the other government entities, like the missing documents from the January 6th committee. Yeah. Nope, that'd be interesting where that all goes. So. Ag is saying the furries have come out for DeSantis. Oh my God. I'm bailing. And then Porcelain Thunder says, how do you keep Trump in line? He's like a novel virus in a Chinese wet market. Well, you mean he's a novel virus when a bat's cloaca is fucking a pangolin? Jacob Castro saying, they give a shit what Sandy Berger did it. Yes, the former Clinton National Security Advisor who basically walked out of the National Archives with a bunch of documents shoved in his pants. Yeah, nobody cared about that one, but hey, equal justice for all. Nobody's above the law. Okay, apparently the Doges are fired up. Oh, well. Either something spooked him or I'm going to get to kill somebody trying to break into the house. I mean, potentially this is not a big deal, or potentially this is going to be awesome. And if I do it live on stream, like imagine the views I can get from that. Maybe the feds were there to shut it down. Hey, we'll find out real quick. You know, when I was in high school, my guidance counselor asked me, like, how many feds do you think it'll take to stop you? And I said, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out at some point. Salty Balls saying, did I see the gag order on John Crump about the CRS case? Yes. 100%. Yes, and John Crump, if you're watching this, once again, you are a dumb faggot for getting involved in a case like that. I mean, I guess I'll just say you're a stupid fucking nigger for getting involved like you did, leaking information like that. Why would you do that? I mean, like, I'm gonna zoom in on me. I'm zooming in on me now, bro. Like, we're gonna tighten this up here. I mean, like, we're really gonna tighten this up. I mean, you're gonna have to see my fat mug now, bro. You know, update this layout here. Yeah, we're gonna like really zoom in. Like, wow, you're gonna see my fat mug now, bro. Why did you do that? What made you think getting into Matt Hoover's case was a brilliant idea in any way, shape, or form? You know, I'm a writer for AmmoLand. I don't care what you're doing. What made you think that was going to help his case at all? I would really love to hear it. I really would love to hear you get through your bumbling, dumb fuck excuse of an answer. Stay out of criminal cases. You know, his attorney, Matt LaRosiere, Fudbusters, working his fucking ass off, trying to get his guy the best possible outcome now. Because despite their best efforts at trial, which they did a great job of getting a bunch of counts not guilties on. They got not guilty on a ton of counts. For some reason, the jury's full of dumbasses who decided, hey, guzzling government come today sounds like a great idea. So now they're dealing with what they got, and you're not helping. You're literally the farthest thing from helping. Like, if we're talking about helping, you're acting like David Hogg. You're not helping at all. You're making it worse. So just don't. But yes, I hope it was a gag order, and I'm sure it's a gag. I hope he actually has to be gagged with a cock from a man at a truck stop, because he probably needs one. Because if he's that dumb, I'm sure he would open his mouth for it. I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to leak a pre-sentence investigation report. Why? That can't be a bad thing in a federal criminal case. Dumb motherfucker. It's just like Reservoir Dogs. When they're in the back of the car and he's just like, you dumb motherfucker. When Harvey Keitel's yelling at people. So. You guys are asking, what did he do? Well, we'll get to that, actually. And I'm sure, I think Matt's actually cool with me dragging him. So I'll drag this guy for a minute. Because we'll get to this again, because I did talk about it last night. You know, he is a writer, and he, at the website crumpy.com, you know, and this is the lovable John Crump. Maybe he's related to Ben Crump, because I can assume the douchebagginess out of them all. You know, he writes for AmmoLand News, and he's part of the Gun Owners for America. Yeah, great. Second Amendment Foundation, Ride or Die, and Firearms Policy Coalition, Ride or Die. Those are the ones you send your money to. FPC, in the meantime, man, they make that lawsuit printer go brrr like it's a fucking minigun. So give them your money. They need it. So let's see here. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there's an order today. All right. there is did not have it, but I do know I don't know if I can show what Matt sent me. I really wish I could, but if he's around, let me see, like, because there was a lot that the court said about what was going on. It also doesn't help that when he's he did tell which I will say this much though, in his defense. I'm not upset that a U.S. attorney got mocked for something, because this actually is pretty good. Am I a rapper now? No, I'm a SoundCloud rapper, which means I'm not a rapper. Rabbit Stick, they dropped the gag order, yeah, but they, yeah, well, Jim is saying, I'm really hoping to hear Fudbuster's opinion on the situation. Matt's really not going to be able to talk about it. I mean, he's in the middle of that case still. It's ongoing, and it's still sentencing for Matt Hoover. So, Fudbuster's probably isn't going to be able to talk about it. So, in the meantime, I will carry the banner for him. So, Stabby says, thanks for that clip. You're welcome. Hoover gave him the information and release. I understand that. Listen, Rabbit. I get that. But here's the deal. For John Crump, what made you think that it was an intelligent decision to solicit confidential information that the court is highly protective of and doesn't like being disseminated from a defendant who's awaiting sentencing in a federal gun case? Like, what made you think that was a good idea? What made you think that was going to help this guy? You solicited information from somebody who it could very likely hurt him and cause him problems later. Because listen, if you want to tell the judge, hey, like you're Matt Hoover, like, hey, judge, don't send me to prison. Keep me out on probation and supervision because, look, I can follow the rules. Well, except for leaking documents like this to some dumb fuck reporter. But, like, trust me, otherwise, I'm totally cool with it. Guess what that just says? Well, I can kind of follow your rules, but not really. That's what he just helped do. I mean, you've got to be kind of a piece of shit to help fuck somebody over. And it'd be one thing if he got it like second or third hand. Okay, fine. But even then you're like, wow, this will fuck the original guy over. Okay. But the guy, you asked the guy who's going to get fucked. Like, you personally went to him and said, hey, buddy, will you shove this dildo up your ass for me? And he got Matt Hoover to do it. Awesome, bro. Awesome. Friends like you, man. I don't know who needs enemies. That's the problem here. I said disseminated. So, but yes, they gave him the information release, and then GOA and FPC paid for Crump's attorneys. Yeah, and they shouldn't have. That guy should be, Gun Owners for America, fine. They want to foot their bill. I'm sure that's not a wise stewardship of their funds to pay for some dumbass, one of their state level directors running around, shoving his dick in the middle of a federal criminal case. Because that's literally what he did. He pulled out his dick, I don't know, all like 3 inches of it, and just took the court case wide open and just rubbed his dick all over it. For some reason. So that's my problem with them. It was absolute bullshit. But I will point out, this is absolutely fucking hilarious what this led to. So they wanted a motion to prohibit dissemination of the PSR. Okay. So now a PSR, if you guys aren't aware, the pre-sentence investigation report, sometimes called a PSI, depending on where you're at. In the federal level, it's a PSR. that is basically because when you go to trial or when you're in front of a judge, think about it this way. If this is the judge, when they get a docket folder, the folder's got case information in it, all these filings, in this case for Matt Hoover, went to trial. Okay, cool. So the judge knows kind of what happened in the case. The judge doesn't know anything about Matt Hoover. So a pre-sentence investigation report is like the story of Matt Hoover. Everything the judge is going to want to know. What was it like for him growing up? His health, his physical health, his mental health. How were his parents growing up? How are they now? His job history, his education, all the things you'd ever want to know about somebody. Now, certainly him and, Hoover and, Matt Hoover and Matt LaRosiere are going to provide what they call a sentencing memorandum, where they're going to point out, in addition to all these things, Judge, look, he teaches blind penguins how to read every Sunday. And in the meantime, he was working on curing cancer and also figuring out how to get safe drinking water to all the starving little children in Africa and South America. They'll show that, and they'll try to show all the positives as well. In addition to that, the PSR does go into, at the federal level, discusses what they think the proper sentence should be, and they'll talk about, with the federal system, it's all about points and levels, basically tiers of offenses. So the higher point totals you have, the more exposure you have. So they'll talk about why there's a 10-point deduction, why they think there should be a this point deduction. And they'll say, here's our math, and we think it's, 10 to 13 points that he's actually accumulated based on what we have, and that means he should get X, Y, and Z as a possible option. And they make their recommendations. So it's actually a very important document. And part of what you have to do is you have to make sure it's correct, and you review it with your client. So anyway, what they're claiming is they have reason to believe that Hoover, through his wife, transmitted a copy of it to certain YouTube personalities, not me, because I'm not a fucking asshole, with the intention they would use the PSR to create YouTube videos. So, yeah, each PSR warns that as a policy of the federal judiciary and the Department of Justice that further disclosure is prohibited without the consent of the judge. So, and here's an issue. When you're in jail, everything is recorded. Okay? The phones are snitch machines. The phones are they're tattle machines, dude. They listen to you. Even when you pick them up, it says, hello, you have a call from Matt Hoover, an inmate at wherever the hell he's at right now. Be advised, this call is recorded. This is on a recorded line. Consent, and a lot of times they say, to consent to this call, please being recorded, and you acknowledge it, please. God damn, I can't talk. Just herp-a-lerp-a-derp-derp. To consent to this call being recorded, please press 1. And then that's your acknowledgement, it's been recorded. And in the middle of while you're talking to a client, it may bust in, especially when you're dealing with calls from prison, and say, this call is on a recorded line. In the middle of what you're talking about, every minute or two. Mr. K says the phones are stitch machines. Yes, they're stitch machines. Yes, they're for PSA Stitch and Adam. They're stitch machines. They're not Adam-friended machines. Jake Chrisman says, hang up right away. Well, here's the deal. If I need to talk to, if you're talking to a friend, let's say, somebody who's in jail and they want to talk to you, not about the case, but you're going to have to, it's easy to say hang up right away till it's a family member stuck in jail. JC Adult's yeah, that's how I got to dig my swimming pool. It's yeah, honey, I buried it 5 feet down in that big orange rectangle in the backyard. Yes. All right. Well, this actually does get to be funny in a second here. But yes, he called John Crump, who operates a YouTube channel, John Crump News, which I guess we'll look at. Where is John Crump News? Because I'm sure it's a I mean, probably he's got a bigger channel than me, but who knows? Oh, yeah, he got a lot more people than me. So yes, you can see. Yes, and we. Oh God, this is this. Look at this shit here. The government is trying to go to court to silence me, and I've got the Wolverines here, just like I'm in Red Dawn. Wolverines. Unless he likes Michigan. I mean, if you're a Michigan fan, dude, okay, cool, we could be friends. But if you're just going Wolverines, like you've watched the documentary Red Dawn many a time, which came out on my birthday, 1985, August. Fun fact. But just yeah, they're trying to silence me. You're trying to fuck somebody over. So tomato, I guess. But getting back to this, Hoover informed Crump that he received his PSR, and they talked about it. Crump told Hoover he received many inquiries about the sentencing and asked if he could make a video about it. The information Hoover told him about the guidelines. So, he talked to another guy who runs a YouTube channel, Flying Rich. They continue talking about it and that they should obtain a copy of the PSR from his girl. Okay. Yeah, that's brilliant work. And they, just the absolute stupidity of these people thinking this is a good idea to fuck this guy over. So anyway, they talk about using it and they talk about going through the whole thing here. And they, talked about sensing updates. Great. And they document where you could find these videos. Which, let's go to that.
Oh, we have a big update on the auto key card case. We know what the boys are.
Yes. No quarter for tyrants. And just beautiful bean footage. But let's get back to what's going on here. The government's preserved copies of these videos, and I hope these guys weren't fucking idiots and tried to delete them, because that kind of might get you some evidence tampering there. So hopefully they weren't dumb fucks and you deleted a video. Dumb motherfuckers. Oh my God. Really? Like, you're dicking around in a federal case, and then when the government says, hey, bro, hey, step bro, you might have done something wrong, your first thought is, oh, well, I'm going to delete that shit because that's a great fucking idea. Just herp alert burp derp. Derp derp derp. Dumb fucking retards. Derp 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 derp. Derp 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 derp. Go retard go. You guys like the Inspector Gadget theme there, but holy shit balls. Why would you do that? Ag saying, well, it's a tampering evidence. It's not tampering because what crime did they commit? Yet. I don't think so, but that's a great way to get held in contempt. I mean, the court's going to be like, well, what did you do? Why is it gone? It's too late now. It's out there on the internet. It's forever. And the government already got copies of it. It's like, But goddamn, like, I'm doing free speech. Government says they did something wrong. And then what does this guy do? Go, oh God, I'm gonna run away. Like, fucking strap up and like you're gonna wade into this shit, man. God, I don't know why the hell that happened. Sorry. But like you're gonna wade into this shit and run around and like act like you're Daddy Big Dick. Then be Daddy Big Dick. Don't get involved in this and go, oh, it's too hard for me now. It ain't time for the big pun defense of it. Oh, it's so hard. Just like it says in that song, it's so hard. No, you fucking ran in there. You fucking ran in there and tried to rub your balls all over this case, and then you ran away. And Hughes, the guy who runs this other channel, pussy ass shit. Pussy. Like big old flopping pussy lips. Lipsa. Just dragging in the dirt. Just hoovering up all that sand. Just clinging to it. Pussy. I mean, fucking A. And I mean, at least, Crump either had the balls to keep it up or was dumb enough not to, and was smart enough not to delete it. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. And Jim, it's not the point. Yes, they can provide a copy of the court, and maybe they can, maybe they can't. You still took it down because you're trying to say, I'm trying to hide it, or whatever the fuck they're doing. It doesn't look good. Dumb fuck stuff. Like, they're trying to silence us. And then you fucking run away and silence yourself. Now, this is the part I do agree with that were in all these comments. This footnote here. These videos prompted a deluge of inflammatory and threatening comments directed primarily to the undersigned and also to this court. And the undersigned is Laura Cofer Taylor, assistant U.S. attorney. So the Fed that was involved in prosecuting this case, well, a lot of people were out there talking about her and saying, such things like, as long as there are no lethal consequences for this prosecutor, you can expect this to happen again and again. And saying that persecutor having to deal with cancer is just the beginning of his karma. And yes, this prosecutor apparently has had cancer or is dealing with cancer. The whole matter is a travesty, and these evil pricks are loading up on karma big time, and they deserve every bit of it. Oof. Be ashamed of this prosecutor's cancer was complemented with lead poisoning. Godspeed, suffering ends at terminal velocity. Oh. It's like sometimes cancer is a good thing. The body's side reaction to cancer treatment I would not wish on anyone, but the likes of this evil prosecutor, I'll consider an exception. I mean, damn, like, I'm not saying like you can like, hey, but you know what? Hey, I was telling whoever runs the floor buffer machine at the DOJ, make those marble floors like a ice rink. I want to see cracked skulls everywhere. And I did also say there's not a big enough bus for all the FBI agents to fit under. So, I mean, damn, the prosecutor had to have cancer treatment. Couldn't happen to a more worthy girl. Hope it's pancreatic. With the dab emoji. Yes. The prosecutor has cancer. I hope it's pancreatic. Oh, just like Jesus. Damn. Oh. I'm glad this prosecutor isn't happy. In fact, I hope cancer is happily doing its work. Ooh. And several of these comments were left on Crump's video were liked by Crump. Jesus Christ. Those were great comments, though. Oh. So they talk about wanting to silence these guys and tell them to shut up. And they ask if they have copies of these to destroy it. They ask whoever possesses a copy of the PSR without authority, including these guys, destroy it and confirm it's structured in writing. And this was demanded by the U.S. attorney, the assistant U.S. attorney, which, damn, son. So, yeah. Oh. Well. Rabbit Stick saying, how many Ryder trucks does it take? Never mind. Tridio says, holy moly, 4 streams in a week. Sean is a machine, probably like a refrigerator or a stove, judging by its size, but a machine nonetheless. Fair enough, I guess. I mean, I can't really argue with it. So, A Capitan says, I arrived at the right moment. Where is somebody actually had a question here, and I saw it earlier, and I wanted to address it. See, I wish this would allow me to do some more looking. Rabbit Stick says, how does this hurt his case? Well, number one, and I said this before, you're trying to tell the judge, hey, judge, when you want to talk about whether or not you're going to, and here's the thing. This isn't really legal advice. It's just, think about it this way. If you're out on bond pre-trial, in a case, let's say you go to trial, or you lose on trial. Because if you win or they dismiss it, who cares? But let's say you end up taking a plea, or you go to trial and you get convicted. Let's say you're eligible for probation or community control or supervised release, whatever it is. You're just not going to the Hooskow. Like, there's an option you don't go to the Hooskow right away. It's a non-mandatory offense. Even if it's an offense where there's a heavy presumption you go to jail or prison. There are some things you can do. Now, what you've done prior to going to court, so while you're out on bond, or even while you're in jail, if the court set rules, for example, let's say it's like a domestic violence case, and you're sitting in jail, and the court says, like, hey, don't call don't get into problems. I don't want to see you getting, thrown in a seg. And the number 2, no contact with the victim. No contact with the co-defendants. Okay, cool. So the judge gave you a list of things to do. Now you've been convicted or you entered a plea, and the judge has to decide whether or not I want to put your ass out on the street. Well, part of that is when I put you on probation, community control, supervised release, whatever, I'm giving you rules to follow. And judges have the authority and the ability to shape your probation pretty much however they want. They can set terms and conditions for you that reflect what they think you need. So it might be like, you got to get a job, get your GED, get this, get that. I've had people where the judge said, hey, you know what? You've talked about wanting to do X, Y, and Z. And the court said, the guy was like wanting to talk about getting into some kind of, you want to start some kind of business. The court said, you know what you're going to do then? I'm going to make you're going to do a research assignment then. You're going to work the probation department, and you're going to I want you to look into what does it take for you to start that type of business. I think it was like some sort of revolving around welding, I think maybe, or something in the trades. Something with machining. I forget right at the top of my head, but I heard it. It wasn't one of my clients, but it's a different case. Judge said, you know what? You're going to work the probation department, and you're going to put together what does it take to actually do all of that. But you're telling me that's your dream? Well, then I want to help you figure out that dream. And I don't know what that dream requires. And yeah, apparently I talked to the attorney a couple months later, and he said, yeah, the guy did his research, and the court said, well, then fine. You're going to do this. You're going to get your GED. I want you to get into some schooling and, get some basic education down on this topic. You're going to get gainfully employed. And boom, 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 boom. And the court, there's a bunch of different ways the court can do this. But ultimately, the court is giving you a list of rules to follow. And it has to determine whether or not you're going to follow them, because the court's not going to waste their time. Now, there might be times where they have to keep you out, or, they don't want to put you in jail because there's, monetary issues going on or fiscal issues. But generally speaking, you're trying to encourage the judge, hey, judge, don't send me to jail or prison. I'll follow the rules. But in the meantime, you haven't followed the rules. You've contacted the victim. You contacted the co-defendants. You've been getting in fights in the jail. You're in SEG all the time. And they know when you're in SEG because they get reports about that. But also, guess what happens if you're in a jumpsuit and you're in SEG and you got a court date? You show up in your SEG jumpsuit. So judge will look at you and say, hey, man, why are you in SEG today? What happened? You're out on bond. You start pissing hot for drugs. You piss hot for alcohol. You miss your pretrial service appointments. You do a bunch of dumb shit. Well, the judge is going to think you're following the rules. So that's a pretty big problem. It says in the thing, don't give this to anybody. Well, he said, hey, man, here, you guys can run with this. That could be a problem for him. If you're trying to encourage the judge, hey, judge, don't fuck this guy over. Well, he's just giving you a reason why he won't necessarily follow the rules. Now, yes, did Matt Hoover do something? Sure, but these two dickheads got involved. And if they hadn't gotten involved, he wouldn't have done it. So that's the problem. Number one. Number two, you don't want to do anything to piss the judge off. Enough people come through and will piss the judge off you're dealing with on their own. And I've been that situation where somebody's up right before me, or earlier in that morning, I'm sitting there, for example, in some, places, you have a big docket call and you're sitting there waiting your turn, and somebody goes up there, whether it's an attorney or a defendant, and they just shit the bed. I mean, they just pull their pants down and just goatsy themselves and just all over the place and just pile it out like it's a concrete truck, just plopping out shit everywhere. And it pisses the judge off. And the judge is fucking livid and they're angry. And you know what? They do their best to calm down, and they're professionals. They got to get back to what they're doing. But it's a lot better if you come in there and you're the first one. Judge's like, oh, good morning, counselor. How you doing? Mr. Martin, how are you doing today? I see you're here with your client. Sir, Mr. Defendant, thank you for being here today. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you've dressed up nicely today. Let's get to your sentencing. Does the state have any remarks first? I'll let the state go first in its remarks. I'll let the defense go. And then I'll let you go, Mr. Defendant, if you want to talk after your attorney's done talking. And we'll get, and life is good. Or after all this dumb shit happens, well, guess what? Do you really want to go at that point? No, you don't. So it's not helping things. It does not help. There is no way this helps. At best, nothing happens. At worst, a lot of things can happen. And the likelihood of a lot of things or this hurting him is far greater than nothing happening. So there literally was no upside to this. Literally no upside. So that's why. And I apologize. Not yelling at you. Not yelling at you. Just saying. So. Unhung Hero for $2 saying, another Sean stream. Oh, I'm going to come. Well, I mean, it's Saturday morning, so I guess, if you want to come. Femme Natal says I'm drunk. Oh, I'm not drunk yet. Oh, I'm only one beer in. So, Ag Biochemist says, thoughts on a quality Gibbs slap? I don't know. I've had a long day today. I'm not 100% sure where you're going with that. So, Amanda Renzer says, how can a court order education? Well, a court can do a lot of things. I mean, for example, let's say somebody's dropped out of school and they, have like a 7th grade education. Like, you need an education to get a job, and they're going to order you to get gainful employment, W-2 employment. You're not going to be able to pull this bullshit working under the table. No. You're going to have a real job, a job that can be tracked, where they can find you. they can order you as a condition, like you got to go to work, you got to get an education. Now, ultimately, like let's say that was, are you going to get sent to prison or violating terms of probation because you didn't get your education in? No, but the court may punish you for that. I mean, the court has the authority to do that. And they're trying to not necessarily punish you, but generally speaking, non-shitbag courts, which most of them are, and I would say I'm actually very fortunate. I have not run into a bad court in Ohio, knock on wood, so far. I've been all over the place. They don't want you coming back. They would rather they never ever saw you in the courthouse again. The one judge I've been in front of a lot, he was a very, very smart man. He would say, I hope you never come back here. And I hope I run into you at Walmart. And it's like, hey, man, how you doing? And I hope things are going well. That's almost every judge who, any good judge, that's their goal is they don't ever see you in the courthouse again unless you're like filing, papers to like get your house recorded or something. They don't ever want to see you in the courtroom again on this case or something like it. They want to see you out there thriving and, moving on from this. So that's why they would do it. Chances clean it up. I don't. We get these pills to swallow. I'm just trying to catch up through some of this. Salty Paul says, I'm not yelling at you. Yeah, my dad always said that too. He was definitely yelling at me. Yes, Torgo saying, please, Santa, put the belt back on. Oh. Yes, clean up the previous lawyer's shit. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I've had to do that before once or twice. And to be fair, I will also admit, I've been that guy before that walked in there, or generally it's not me, but I've been that guy once or twice. I'll fully admit it. But normally when I've been involved or been, up there in the courtroom, in front of the bar, at the tables, when there's a massive just pile of shit smeared all over the floor, a lot of times my client's done that. So, and there's nothing you could do when they start, once they decide to once they start just plopping it out, and it sounds like like I said, that plop, 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 like out of the concrete truck mode. There's nothing you can do except sit there and be like, well, I guess I'm going to be like knee deep in shit before this is over. And you got to sit there. It's like being on an airplane that's about the side of a mountain. There's what can you do at that point? Just, fire up a smoke and hope it's over quickly. And usually it's not over quickly. It's not quick at all. It's very slow motioned. So Still Life says they won. I'm not sure who they are, but I mean, like, do you mean like they, parenthesis, 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 parenthesis? I'm not sure which they you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about Gibbs from NCIS? I never really... Never watched the show. I get it. Like, he slapped the fuck out of guys, and then there was, like, the weird goth lady who worked in, like, the coroner's office and shit, and then they would always, like, do the black and white cut on the show all the time. Didn't watch NCIS. That was very much I thought that was kind of some boomer tier stuff. So my apologies if you did watch and you liked it. I just no. So just saying. Still Life says the royal they, like they, them. Ah, yes. Yes, the royal we. The amateur iconoclast says terrain. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Terrain. Pull up. If you're on the farms, that's obviously got more than one meaning. Oh. Dr. D's Nuts says that show was terrible and the goth chick wasn't that hot. Yeah, I mean, it's also their feds, so it's like it feeds into this whole, like I've said before, this idea of like pro-government propaganda and police propaganda and like pro-government pornography and yay, they're the feds and they're chasing bad guys and all kinds of weird shit. And it's like, well, you learn from like the Eddie Gallagher prosecution. NCIS is kind of corrupt and they're not very good at their job and there's a lot of problems with it. But no, it's like it's like, oh, he's on the show and he slaps the guy in the head all the time. It's like, okay. WMMAC now says Jag was a superior TV show. Okay. I watched Jag a couple of times, but now that I'm an attorney, looking back on it, it was absolutely fucking awful. Fucking garbage. Fucking garbage. So, mostly Gluten says more of a young and a restless type man. No, I was I know this guy's not here watching it, but he know if I was referring to him the moment I said this. No, more of a General Hospital type guy myself. D. Marie says, how dare I insult NCIS? I'll insult a lot of shows. I will insult a lot of shows. Don't you worry. I mean, like, you want to talk about The Office? I mean, how about that one? I mean, I haven't watched any of that except for oh my God, the retarded guy spilled a big pot of chili. And then it's like, oh wow, like the main plot of The Office was apparently Steve Carell was like autistic as fuck or something. And then every day it's like, wow, he's really retarded. That apparently to me, that was the plot of The Office. And then they sold paper and sadly, nobody came in there and just fucking killed everybody with like an AR-15 at some point. Like that would have been the perfect way to end that show, but it didn't happen. But yeah, like The Office, fucking garbage. Do not like. Will not watch. Haven't watched. Like I've seen a clip or two on YouTube where people have talked about it. That's the most I've ever watched of The Office. And the only redeeming part about The Office was the one guy ended up being in like 13 hours. As one of the dudes just like stacking bodies, whatever his name is. John Krasinski or whatever the fuck his name is. That's the only cool part about The Office. That Dwight guy, I hope he got hit by a fucking bus. That's how cringe I thought the whole thing was. Office Space was greater than The Office. 100%. 100% Office Space was good. Peter Spinney says, when I think of The Young and Restless, I think of The Price is Right. Hey, The Price is Right was good. The old Price is Right, I love that. I love that show. Still haven't never watched Arrested Development. Never got around to it. Okay, what are you guys saying here? Chance Schofield says if Taiwan gets a visit from the mainland. You mean if Taiwan gets a visit from West Taiwan? At least I can get a job in a plane making all the warning sounds. There was actually a lady for like the F-18s. Her name was Betty the Bitch. And she did the sounds for that, like pull up, altitude. And they didn't like they gave her that title, and there was a real person. I think that would be kind of fun to be known as that. You know, the voice just screaming at them the whole time in the plane. D saying Dwight and his beet farm. I hope he grew it in a place with hexavalent chromium and he got cancer. So I'm a Wheel of Fortune fan. I'm actually a Jeopardy fan. Because, like, oh, that's the best part about Jeopardy. There's some nights where you're watching Jeopardy. Even Blossom now doing Jeopardy. There's some nights at Jeopardy where it's just like, it's just like in Billy Madison when they talk about the subjects for Bill that right up Billy's alley. There's some nights where I'm just cleaning the board, and then there's other nights where I'm like, if I was keeping score, I'm down like $10,000, and I'm just crashing and burning. I was a Friends guy. Okay, I've watched many moons ago, probably like 5 or 6 years ago now. I watched Friends the whole way through. God, that was awful. That was awful. All I know is that, I thought David Schwimmer did a great job. Band of Brothers as Captain Sobel. Yeah, he still got my respect for that. But fuck, man, I can't stand him and Friends. Like, the only good part about Friends is like when he gets hit in the face with like a steel pipe, like towards the end of the series. I'm like, I wish that happened every day. That's how much I hated Ross. So. Oh, a name of some sources. Bitch and Betty, not Betty the bitch. My bad. Yes, the GPWS callouts. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Oh. Where are you? Stray Cats Way, were they on a break or not? Yes, Rachel was being a dumb bitch. Yes, they were on a break. So. Still says, I like the one where Joey hangs himself. Well, no, given like what Chandler did for a job nobody knew, I was waiting for like the one where Chandler hangs himself because he got caught embezzling all the money. That's what I was waiting for. Oh, I'm out of water. Oh, well. Oh, by the way, a lot of times, yes, this is just water. So, wow, I kept 208 people here, and I'm just ranting about how shitty TV shows are. I was waiting, like, I'd look back, and there'd be, like, 5 people left. Oh. Well, that's 2 hours. If you guys want to watch a traffic stop, it's kind of funny. We can do that. Aaron says, every Friends episode, Rachel is a dumb bitch and causes problems for every other dumbass on the show. Yes. How I Met Your Mother was a good show with a shitty ending. Never watched it, won't watch it. Never watched Big Bang Theory. Won't watch it, never gonna watch it. Bunch of like, they tried to like mainstream fucking Aspies and like real fucking autism. And then it's like, Will Wheaton. It's like, fucking, like, Will Wheaton. I hope he gets HIV. Malcolm Coleman says background noise for BG3. Yeah. Yes, Big Bang Theory was a nerd minstrel show. You're missing nothing. I know. But oh no, it's like, but they had Neil deGrasse Tyson on, the black science man. Like, that was like fucking like for Reddit. Like, I got your hackerinoed upvotes, bro. I recently read an article that said premature gray was due to an overload of testosterone. Well, the women I've had in my life might agree with you. Depends. Depends who you ask. But yes, I like the nerd minstrel show thing. Yes. Hey, Rabbit Stick saying the fortune testosterone was inserted from behind. Hey, you can absorb a lot through your the lining of your intestines. That's why people do butt chugging with alcohol, because it goes straight into your system. Cat's Ray says, I still love 2.5 Men. I mean, there was like, I like the Charlie Sheen parts, but like that other guy on it who looked like he was like a homosexual. I apparently he had a kid though. No, I hated that guy. And then I hated like that producer at the end. He'd like have all these like fucking dingbat communist lib shit at the end, and I was like, I don't fuck you. I don't care for all that. So. Porcelain Thunder says that's where lawyers always come from. Yeah, well, hey. See, the neat thing is, I don't deny that when I do my job, I can be a piece of shit. It just comes with the territory. I will say I did watch Charlie Sheen's show. I thought that was really I gave him, I tried, but you know, most of the hype was because he was, you know, all the tiger blood and banging all the porn stars, and whether or not he got the high five out of all that. That was, you know, that was the reason why I watched that. Oh my God. Ooh, Zem is saying Lost. No, Lost. No. Lost is an awful show. Here's how far I got on Lost. I remember back, oh God, now. Back when I was in law school. Somebody's like, dude, you got to give it a chance. You got to try Lost. You got to give it a shot. I got into the first episode and like the plane crashes. And then there's like the fog. And then there's like that weird fog monster that fucking eats a guy. And I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm out. Like, you know, and like there's a weird fucking time loops. It's like M. Night Shyamalan was writing, like, what a twist! What a twist! What a twist! It's twists upon twist. No. Nope. Out. I made it about 10 minutes. Out. Never went back. I would rather watch Grey's Anatomy, which is basically just hoes in a hospital, than Lost. And the other thing, when you're watching Grey's Anatomy, like all the fucking they do, like how do they never get like MRSA? Because you know that shit's just rampant in a hospital. So it's like, you know, you're banging it out and you get some MRSA all over your dick, like you get MRSA cock. That'd be rough. Or it's just better you get like a yeast, it's like just a MRSA infection up in your cooch. Like, oh boy, that'd be rough. That would be rough. So. It's something you never think about, though. And like, I've wanted to ask like people who, because I know in hospitals they do hump all the time, like in the medical staff's like, do they never get MRSA? Because that would be really awkward. I mean, it's like instead of giving somebody chlamydia, I gave you like drug resistant MRSA. Oops. I mean, not the first season. Well, not the season of Golden Girls, like when they have the restaurant. I don't like that. But yeah, I mean, how can you can't beat that beginning, you know? Thank you for being a friend. Bum, 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 bum. I mean, it's good. It's good. It's good, wholesome shit. How can you not like Golden Girls? So. Oh, and there's force fields on I see that helps me even better. I don't care. I don't fucking care. Force fields and lost. That's awful. Porcelain Thunder says Young Sheldon is so good. It's on every in-flight entertainment system globally. Yeah, I'm sorry, passing on that too. I get it. He was gay and smart, and he grew up in like the South, so it was like, way he's done all this faggot and fancy book learning. We just don't understand him none. Like, I get it. I get. Okay, great. You're shitting on, rural America and flyover country. Cool. Yeah, I can really be a downplay. I can really be an asshole at things. If you guys have fandoms for stuff, I'm so sorry. I am very, very sorry. I really am. I guess. If you guys give me enough super chats, I'll tell you how I feel about Dragon Ball Z. But we'll get back to that. Now do Star Wars. Star Wars is actually cool. I mean, Star Wars is, I think, a brilliantly done thing. Like, they're like, actually, like George Lucas, when it was like Miyamoto and like Kurosawa's, like when they were like, it's just like, I don't care. It's very well done. It's put together in such a way that it's kind of like a kit bashing of space, Japanese folklore stories, and World War II put together. It's pretty dope. I mean, how can you not like Star Wars? Brad says, are all lawyers so dark? I'm not that dark. I'm a pretty good guy. I can be happy about stuff at times. It's just, I don't like just drivel. It's just guttural shit that lays around. I mean, you want to talk about some stuff, and like, we can be happy and bright. We can talk about like Taylor Swift, like, with the Red album, like not anything after that, but like older Taylor Swift. That woman was a blacksmith that, like, the English language, this crap that we spew out of our mouths. She was able to take it and kind of get it all together, and she just refined it and she beat on it. So that's what it took. It took her beating on it with like a hammer and just putting it in a fire and beating it so it's till it was malleable. And she produced art with that. And, people don't like her, but, when she passes on from this world, we're not going to realize what we had. And humanity is going to be worse off for it at that point. So, how do I feel about Burn Notice? I like Burn Notice. It was fun. The Jedi are pedos. The Jedi are space ISIS. They're literally ISIS. With their madrasas, and they're teaching kids to be violent and carry out things. They are literally ISIS. They believe in their force, and it's like, inshallah, it's the will of the force that guides you. Very, very violent. Very violent. It's like, and it's like in episode 5 when they're going after him, it's like the French government going after like the Tuaregs out in Mali, just annihilating them. Oh. What about the original Red Dawn? There's fucking baller. It's a documentary, man. It is good stuff. Especially like Colonel Strelnikov. He's like, I hunt wolverines. Like, what more can you, just killing Russians? Like, what? I mean, there's, what more can you want out of a movie? So, but yes, I can be positive at times. It's just, we're talking about stuff that was not making me positive. Mostly gluten for $5. Thank you. Also, Stephen Cooper, thank you, by the way. I forgot to say thank you. My apologies. Says, what do you think about, do you think they have sex around the disinfecting robot? That's one way to make sure you stay clean. Rolo Tomas, yeah, No, I mean, like, I think he's pretty cringe. And honestly, I don't think Jordan Peterson was bad. I think he says a lot of things. It's you hear advice, and then when you hear it finally, at some point, it finally snaps into your skull. You may have had to hear it for like 100 times. But yeah, Rolo, I just no, he's cringe. I don't like him. Don't like him. So where are Mr. Case's burn notes with dog shit? Yeah, I mean it's okay. It's okay. Everybody can not like it or like it. Meat Candy says Freebank's gonna be happy I complimented his idol. Who's his idol? I didn't say anything about Daddy Vosh. We aren't talking about horse fucking tonight or cheese pizza. This is a cheese pizza free stream. What do I think about Buckaroo Banzai? Don't know about it. Didn't watch The Unit. I didn't watch that at all. So, don't know anything about it. I know it's got President Palmer from 24, which first couple seasons of 24 were pretty based. God, those took forever to watch. And you had to watch them. And you had to watch, like, the first season, it ran right after American Idol. So you had to watch the ending of American Idol, like, every freaking time to watch 24. I mean, the only thing I will say about 24 is, like, Jack Bauer had his, like, USP 45. I wanted one of those so bad as a kid. Stray Cat saying, what's the last movie I watched? I just watched tonight the Mario movie, which was absolutely hilarious. And it was really cool. Like all the things they did, some of the gags and what they did with the Koopas, that was absolutely hilarious. I thought it was very well done. I thought it was just, I know there was I know some of that was fan service. I get it, but it was done very well. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I don't know what more there is to say. Yes. The only thing I will say about 24 that get kind of cringy though was every time with Jack Bauer, it's like, there's no time. And he'd pull out a knife and like carve someone's eye out to get them to talk, which, okay, that was kind of cool the first couple of times he did it. And then they had the thing where like CTU kept getting attacked like over and over and over and over again. And they'd put the people in charge of CTU and it's like, yeah, they're in charge of CTU. We're going to put them in charge of the super secret governmental organization, but you got your heroin addict brother running around. It's like, how would they do that? Why? Agus saying, I watched all of 24. You mean even the new stuff with like Freddie Prinze Jr. and all that crap? God, you're a better man than I am. I'm like the first 5 or 6 seasons of 24, and that's about it. So, Aaron saying, sounds like the Mario movie was Member Berry Pie. Hey, it was very good. I highly recommend it. I thought it was a very funny movie. And did I hear? Yes, we talked about this last night. The actor who, Johnny Hardwick, who voiced Dale Gribble, has since passed on. So, on the plus side, the government never got Dale. Dale died peacefully. Wasn't done by a drone strike. Beat thing from 24 was the Snook from South Park. Oh. So, Eric saying The Wire. Yeah, The Wire's not bad. The only problem with The Wire is it's written from David Simon's perspective. And like when you get to the end season, it's like the reporter part. Like, yeah, he had to write himself into his own story. And it's like just so cringe. I will say though, like the first 3 seasons of The Wire, I think are really good. And people don't like the second season, But it just shows you like how much Baltimore died. Like with the stevedores union, Frank Sabaka was trying to keep everything in line. He was the best union president they could get. I think it was really good to show how bad everything was. No matter, like, everything was a disaster there. Backwards Gold says, just got done with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. I've watched the other two and I liked them, so I'm kind of stuck with it. So mostly gluten for $2 says, yes, Dale Gribble was an American hero. Where's the tank build? Actually, I don't know. I think it. Wait, yeah, the tank build. When I was working on it, I kind of messed something up, and it had an untimely oopsie poopsie moment. So I gotta order a new one. Gotta order a new Panther. We're gonna work on that. I gotta get a new Panther. Actually, I was thinking about, should I do? Yeah, we're gonna redo the Panther. We'll do the OS D. Was it a D Panther? Or I forget what it was. I want to go back and look. We'll do the OS D Panther. Got my air gun now. I think I can work on it, and we'll do that. Mr. Nobody says, how do I send you something on Twitter? You go to LawTube Sean. That's my Twitter handle, and you can, I don't know, find a tweet where I say something and throw something in below it if you want. My God, you guys are just chugging along here. So, JC saying there's a rebuild of an actual Panther on YouTube. Yes, I've seen that. I've been watching some of that stuff. So, well, I guess, you know what? We're going to get to this guy yagging the traffic stop. We may as well watch it now because this is important. I think it's what not to do. So, what not to do. So, basically, don't act like John Crump when you're driving around and the police decide to stop you. So, you guys are ready. Here we go. I think there's a little bit of cheesy kind of over production in this, but we'll watch the body cam and go from there.
Exclusively uploaded body cam footage where the officers didn't expect what was about to happen.
I don't think it's a Jeep and Buick. Get back in the car! Get back in the car! Hands up, man. I know where y'all behind. Yeah, because you're driving like a maniac. Yeah, I apologize, man. I did. All right, get back here.
So this guy had gone in front of everybody and left a bar and was like driving like a lunatic and almost hit a couple of people. So,
here, put your hands up on the car. Up on the car. Up on the car. No, put your hands up on the car.
Man,
hands on the car.
Hey,
hands on the car.
I know why you just pulled me over, man.
Right.
I'm trying to listen. Only thing I'm saying, man,
It's your wallet?
Yes, it is, sir. Everything, wallet, money, yes, sir.
All right.
Can I calm down?
Hold on.
Can I please calm down?
In a second, hold on.
That's all.
Relax.
That's all I'm asking. Yes, I have a band.
Do you mind if I see that? I know.
Where's this at? Somebody's asking. Hold on, where is this thing at? Julia, I think Illinois, maybe. I don't know. So, whatever. Anyway, somebody's gonna be an idiot. Oh, great. Now it's fucking buffering. Just because I stopped it.
I know.
Why were you driving like that? You were going around that car and stuff, man?
I didn't go around no carpet.
You want to step back to you and just talk to you real quick?
I ain't going around no car. That's one thing I do.
Over there, right here. You can sit up against the car.
I just go around no car.
Okay.
All right. You have your ID on you?
No, I don't. He just came out here. I don't know what's going on. He got mad because he thought some guy was trying to talk to me. I don't know.
Okay. Well, it doesn't exactly explain his actions, though.
That I don't know. I just know he was being.
Now, I don't know why he was asking for her ID because she's not involved in this. She wasn't driving the car. Don't know. And I don't think she has. She's not cooperating, not IDing, and I think she's doing the right thing there. That's your mileage may vary depending where you live.
We thought some guy was trying to talk to me, and we let the right here.
You know, you still can't have weed in the car like that. That jar right there?
Oh yeah, that's him. I don't know.
Okay, don't drive around like Helen Keller when you have weed sitting in the middle of your car console. Dumb fuck.
Okay.
I was just trying to get
All right, go ahead.
He was mad, so
How'd you get in the bar if you don't have an ID?
in the bar.
Yeah.
That's because I probably dropped it.
How'd she get in the bar? She's clearly over the age of 21, dude. How'd you get in the bar without having an ID? Because the people running the bar aren't fucking retarded and know she's of age.
I didn't take my first one.
Brian, detain him. We're going to search it. Huh? Detain him. We're going to search it.
Ain't no search. Give me a reason to search. Yeah, no.
One step up, man. One step up.
I gotta get out.
No. Yeah, turn it off. All that
Just-
no search.
I'm telling
Now, yes, he doesn't realize that they saw the weed. So, yes, him saying, I don't consent to searches ain't a bad idea. Never a bad idea. Saying, I don't consent, I don't think this is valid because you don't want to give the cops an excuse. But they've already seen the drugs, so it's fair game at that point.
you to get out.
No one's anyone searching to get out.
Get out.
No.
Come on, get out. Exit the car. Ma'am, I'm giving you an order.
All right.
Get out of the car.
And then also, if he orders you out, okay, great. That's it.
Come back here. Come back here.
No, ain't no searching. I'm telling you, no. No. You're legal searching. You're legal search and seizure right now.
Sir, you have a jar of weed sitting in the center.
Okay, give me a ticket.
We'll get there when we get there.
No,
Okay?
there ain't no searching.
Okay, well,
No search.
I do love him being refusing the whole way through. I get it, but dude, it's over. I do like his. Well, just give me a ticket. Well, they probably will. They're still searching your car.
Past
Searching.
that point.
We're gonna search it regardless.
Ain't no searching, Shell. That's a legal search and seizure.
No, it's not illegal.
It is.
It is.
All she had.
Actually, the police are right this time. It's not an illegal search.
to do is give you my weed.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it do.
Nope. Once they see it,
Come
I got no
on,
problem
man.
with
Come
searching
on,
the
man.
entire
She's giving you the weed.
vehicle. Okay.
No, you got license and insurance. We have license and
Do
insurance.
we have to put you in handcuffs so you can be cool out here?
Can I send my wife and sit on the curb?
You can sit on the curb.
I want to sit on the
We're
curb. I
talking
just want to sit on the curb next to her.
We're talking.
Sir, please. I'm not going to resist in that. Please,
Well, you
can I
are
just.
right now. So stand over
I'm
there.
asking you. I'm
Stand
asking
over
you,
there.
all of y'all.
Hey, we're splitting you guys up.
No,
He asked, yes, so you asked, and they said no.
I don't want to speak split up. I want to sit right there next to my wife.
Unfortunately, it's too bad right now. We're gonna switch you guys up. That's all. Okay.
I don't want no
If you
search.
want, you can take a seat on the police officer.
Man, they searching my car for no reason. For a job.
Here, we're done. Okay. Turn the
You
phone
can't
off.
take my phone. Here, babe. Here, babe. Keep him on the phone and put the camera
All
on.
right, we're just gonna detain you.
No, I'm going to turn around.
You wanna
Sir, would you
put-
please?
Stop
Baby,
resisting.
look, I promise you.
Nope.
Stop resisting.
Camera, babe, camera. Camera.
55.
Hey, I promise you, man.
All right, well then stop.
I'm not. Don't you see I'm not? I'm 37.
Well, you kind of are fighting.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. Stand off. I'm getting on my knees.
Fucking child, get over here.
I'm not.
Let's go.
That's what I'm telling you, sir.
Spread your feet.
I'm not, sir.
Spread your feet.
I'm not.
Spread
I'm
your
not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm
I
not.
tried to be civil with you.
I
You're
don't
not
be
having it.
civil with you. I'm not.
No,
I'm
you're
not. I'm not.
Everything's an argument with you.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not.
Please stop.
I'm not.
So James is saying, what was the where are we looking here? Where is James saying, what was the point that made it illegal to search? I mean, the police are going to argue once they saw the drugs in the car, meaning they saw that jar of weed, they have the right to search the car because now they found drugs in the car and they have, reason to believe there's more in the car. Now, I would probably make the argument, at least if this was a suppression issue there, you found those, so you had no reason to believe there would be more. I've made this argument before. Courts have not bought it. The judges kind of chuckle and say, well, you tried, counselor. I still think that should be how it's handled. You have no proof there's anything further out there, so you should not be entitled to search. So that's the and I think, and I don't know at this time if weed was legal in Illinois, so there might be multiple issues there. So there's a lot going on there. Yes, he said clearly he didn't say I'm not enough. They would have stopped.
I'm not resisting.
That's only I want to say. All right, thanks.
Hey, babe, go in there and turn the truck off. Hey, you can't tell her that. I have license and insurance. Man, I got license and insurance. Man, go in there and turn that truck off.
They won't let me go in there.
Man, go do the law said.
Would you stop
They
it?
won't let me go in there.
Man, don't you see how they're treating me?
I see it.
Don't do it. That means he's not giving you the reason. You have license. Go turn my truck off. Go
That would be a very bad idea. Don't recommend doing that.
turn my truck off. Hey,
Stop it.
well, take this shit. Man, take this shit. I mean it. Take it. Illegal search and seizure. Illegal search and seizure.
Now, I will say, as far as the initial reason to stop, the cops are claiming he was driving like a wild man, but that doesn't mean he was.
Now they're detaining me.
And that could be an issue to challenge the whole stop.
Well, you're under arrest. Yeah, you're under arrest for obstructing. Step in the vehicle.
Wow. If I'm under arrest, they turn my truck off.
That's some ticky-tack bullshit, charging him with obstructing. That part I don't like.
Turn my truck off. They search my truck. They can't search it.
I did. They went out of town, they said.
Did you get 43 from her years?
Not hers.
All right, you got an ID on you, miss?
No, I don't. I lost it inside the club. I gotta go back.
I'll just take down her name.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can you take down her name, please?
Hey, do you want me to leave your money with her?
What is Pale under? What is Pale under? What is?
He wants you to hold on to all of his property. So
Okay.
aside from his ID, I'm giving you his wallet, his money,
He
a lot of cash.
I mean,
What is
are
Pale's
you gonna be
under?
able to come on him out or no?
Probably. What is it under?
Yeah, what's your first name? How do you spell that?
I need him to get this note. Oh, I see it.
What's your last
Can
name?
I get my purse out of there? It has my house keys.
Let him do his thing first, and then he'll get you your keys. Okay.
So
What's your last name? Yeah, man.
we're going to skip ahead here and see if we can actually get to the part. No, yes, this is all bullshit war on drug stuff, but 'tis the way the reality of our world is right now. So, okay, so it's okay. So we're at the stop real quick. I forgot how short this was. Somebody's asking what happens. Apparently, they lead to a $200,000 cocaine bust. So, I didn't get to watch this whole thing, so I'm hoping they find like $200,000 worth of coke.
Hey, detained here. Got 32.
Okay, so when you have weed in your car and you're leaving the bar, don't drive like an asshole. Don't get out of your car and act like an asshole when you have a firearm in your car, which might get you arrested and charged with more crimes. And then I'm assuming this big bag of white thing here is cocaine, the yayo, the coca, that living marching powder, that booger sugar, that nose candy. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. That's a bit of an oopsie poopsie. Yeah, it says $200,000 for bail. Like I said, I don't know the way it's written. This is a kind of a shitty thing, but it just popped up in my suggested tonight, so I thought I'd watch it.
Hey, detained here. Got 32.
So I guess I'm just. Oh yeah. Well.
Why? Oh, they're arresting me. I don't know. Why am I being arrested?
Hold on. You're being detained right now.
You're being detained,
Why am
so
I being detained?
I'll tell you what's going on.
I don't know what's going on. Hell, please come. I don't know what's going on, but they're holding me.
14, I got one female detained.
What?
Now I understand they can detain her and ask questions, but do they really need to cuff her? Like, come on, guys. I think that's a bit bullshit.
I don't understand.
Let go of what's in your hand.
But you just gave it to me.
Hold on. You got anything on you? I'm just going to check you for any weapons. Okay? Separate your feet. Separate your
I
feet.
don't understand what's going on.
So we found a gun in the vehicle.
I didn't know it.
You got nothing on you?
No, I don't have no weapons on me. I just have my
Go
purse.
ahead and step up over here in front of my vehicle.
So she's been searched, patted down. She doesn't have weapons. She's not a threat. I don't know why she's still cuffed. I think that's bullshit on their part.
Mama.
You see what it says?
No, I've never seen that. It's definitely real, obviously. So this one,
Oh, he's got two guns. Brilliant. You're gonna drive around and get caught for that.
They're both far. This one is. Where were they?
She's 99?
Officers found a 9mm handgun and a .380 caliber handgun, with the latter potentially affected the
Step in front of her. Just turn around. So there's a gun in the car.
I didn't know there was in
Whose
there.
gun is that?
I don't know because I'm just going home. I just need.
It's it's if she's saying it's not hers, then it's somebody else's.
I just wanted to go home. All I wanted to do.
So you've been with him for a while. Yeah. Remember I was at your house?
Yeah. But I don't know what you had.
And then you guys were.
Okay, this is just dragging on. Fuck it. This isn't good. Sorry, guys. This is bad. Mostly gluten for. I think we're gonna wrap up actually because it's getting kind of late. Might go play some BattleBit or something coming up. Mostly gluten says for $5. When will you make the Killdozer model? The size is up to you. Actually, hold on here. Killdozer model. Do they make them? Gotta do this like Bane. Oh my God, they do. Oh, holy shit. You guys need to see this. Oh my God. Oh my God. They sell one. Oh, this will work. This will work. I might actually kit bash this. This would be fun. And I've only done a couple of kit bashes before, but get this off Amazon. Construction bulldozer. Oh, Nick Naylor gifted some memberships. Also, Mostly Gluten gifted 20 memberships. Holy cow, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you for becoming a member as well. But oh, that'd be so much fun. Too bad there's not a Korematsu 355D model. Yeah, there is no Korematsu bulldozer kit. Yeah. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of like D9, like the combat bulldozers. There's a Komatsu. Oh, there's a Komatsu G40. Yeah, that's. Huh. Yeah. Oh, well, we'll have to find one somewhere. So, yeah, I'll work on that. And then Mostly Gluten become a member. Thank you. I appreciate it. Also, Mostly Gluten for $5. Again, thank you for the support. I appreciate it, man. Saying, I feel like in today's market, $200K in cocaine might be actually a pallet worth. Remember, inflation is everywhere. Inflation is everywhere. So. That is an issue. D's Nuts says blue balled. Yeah, that wasn't turning out to be good there. They said, but where's the Coke? I don't know. That was dragging on. It wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't very good. Sorry, I'm also getting really tired, so. Samuel Willing says, you can 3D print me a killdozer. No, I know that, but I'd like to kit bash and like kind of build take a model kit for a bulldozer and take some, styrene paneling and things like that, and sheets of styrene and plastic, and because I mean, it's if you're building a killdozer, that's pretty easy. I mean, the killdozer wasn't exactly like a technical, wasn't a technical, when you're looking at the killdozer, it's not that hard. You build the bulldozer body and then you slap on a shell. So you don't have to worry about it. It's just slab sided for the most part. And I could do that. I could build that up. So that wouldn't be too hard to put together. I don't think that'd be that bad. I need to make a 1-to-1 scale. Well, if I was doing a 1-to-1 scale, I'd probably make a 1-to-1 scale BM21. If we're talking about fighting the government, you might as well grid square eliminate if you're going to do it. So, yes, the Komatsu D355A. Yes, very reliable. The killdozer was art, not science. Yes. So, Mandy saying, are you going to put an iron cross on your killdozer? No. But like I said, I got to make the Panther, so we got to get that one going. Oh. Does that mean the killdozer is a land version of an ironclad? Kind of, if you want to think about it that way. Mostly Gluten says, can we crowdfund you and make a full replica? That'd be a great GoFundMe. That would be a very good GoFundMe. Federal Lumpkin says, I know what grid squares are. I'm more impressed than I was before. Well, yeah, when you get a BM21, you can turn that into a grid square eliminator. And Goalie says, if you're a moderate, say you're a moderate rebel 3 times into a mirror, and the ghost of John McCain will appear and give you everything you need. You can get free tow missiles. That'd be great. So, all right, guys, that is it for tonight. I am exhausted, and I got stuff I got to do in the morning. So we're gonna call this quits for now. But yeah, we'll be working on the model streams coming up. I mean, probably not this month. I got a trial at the end of the month, and it's big. I got working on it, and that one's like 100% gonna go absent like people on the victim side just like disappearing off the face of the earth, which isn't gonna happen. So probably not this month, maybe in September at some point, but I've also got something big then, unless that settles out. So, thank you again for everybody saying happy birthday. I appreciate it. Holy cow, somebody did it again. Oh, mostly gluten again. Another 10 memberships. Holy cow, dude. Thank you. I'm sure people are getting them, are loving it. Mandy says post the trial live. There is no, there is absolutely no goddamn way in hell I would tell you guys when and where I'm doing a trial. Unless it already happens to be in the news, then fine. But there's absolutely no goddamn way in hell I'm televising a trial I'm in. That's just, I'm not doing that. Just saying. So, all right, guys. Well, with that being said, everybody have a great night, and mostly gluten for. Oh, you got it fixed. Okay, for $2. Thank you again. I appreciate all the super chats saying, "Happy birthday, great work." Thank you. Yes, Sean gets 10,000, 100,000 texts to object. Oh. Yeah, and this is like I'd show up naked with your name on my chest. That's the reason why I wouldn't do this. I don't need that. There's enough anxiety when you're in a trial already, trying to make sure you're on top of everything. I don't need to like bring up crippling, that much more anxiety and panic as well, and self-esteem issues. So, yeah, don't need that. So. Anyways, guys, thanks again. Everybody have a great night, and I will see you guys around. And, remember, just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. Take care, everybody.